Hello everyone, my name is Korosh Erfani and I am sociologist and writer. Recently I published a book called Infinitism. This is a book that is between the philosophy and sociology, and mainly I try to see if there would be an applicative philosophy for the field of sociology. So from this work I draw a theoretical framework that could be named Infinitism. The main idea is how effectively we can use the concept of infinity in order to find the application that could change our life, that could change maybe one day even our world. So in this book I developed a philosophical theory for change, to change everything that we want. There is no limit, there is no any borders for what we want to do, with the idea of the presence of infinity in everything and in anywhere. And the second idea that had been developed parallelly is the idea of Infinitylogy. So these are two fields that go hand to hand. Infinitylogy is the theoretical aspect of knowing better and better infinity, and the infinitism is trying to find the application for our knowledge of infinity. So in this video I will try to make a presentation about the Infinitylogy, but in this book and in other videos I will try to also make the presentation of infinitism. And as you can see under this page, there are also the reference, the websites, for example, for both of them, and you can go to this website in order to take a better knowledge about what is exactly Infinitylogy and what is the main idea of infinitism. So let's start with Infinitylogy to see what it is exactly and how we can use that. I have to say that I understand that this word could be a little strange at the beginning, because we don't have any idea about what could be a systemic knowledge of infinity. Not yet. We know that there is a huge literature on infinity in the different fields, physics, mathematics, philosophy, and so on. But what could be a special or a specific field of study upon the infinity and its application? So that's why I can understand that some viewers will find the term or the terminology of the Infinitylogy a little strange, but if you bear with me, we will try to present step by step some components of Infinitylogy, and you will see that it's not as strange that it looks like. So for introduction, let me say that based on the idea of the infinitism, there would be unlimited resources in the nature, in the universe, that the human beings can use, but they don't do that. Why? Because there would be three kinds of obstacles, impediments. The first set of obstacles is a scientific one, which means that we don't have enough knowledge about how the infinity is present in the structure of matter and how it operates in order to start to see if we can use that or not. That's the first set of impediment that we have, the lack of knowledge, we can say, and lack of science concentrated and focused on the infinity. The second one would be the tools and means that we need in order to use the infinity present in the matter. That's the technological obstacles, we can name them. And finally, one of the most important set of these obstacles would be philosophical ones, which means that we don't have the philosophical framework to have a practical approach of infinity. As you know, we have, as I said before, there would be a huge literature on infinity in philosophy, but up to now, and there is not really a practical or operational approach, something that could try to see where is the segments and sections of the matter where we can intervene, and then we can get what we want from the matter, from the universe, from the nature. And I think the most important obstacle, the most important lacking or missing element for doing that is effectively the philosophical framework that we need, what I call worldview. We need a worldview in order to see and to detect the infinity, the presence of infinity in the universe, and then trying to get there by science and by the tools or technology. So that's why by the idea of the Infinitology, I try to see if we can elaborate a discipline, a kind of new field of science or study that could be dedicated to the knowledge of infinity. Now, this is where we invented this word of Infinitology in order to just giving you this idea of what it is exactly, what it means exactly. It means knowing infinity, knowing better and better infinity, knowing systematically and methodically infinity. That's the main idea of the Infinitology. If we want to go a little deeper in this definition, you can see that it's a question of a field of study where three things will cross: philosophy, science, and technology. When they meet in order to produce a better, deeper, and more realistic, more objective knowledge of infinity, and also how we can use that, the practical usage, the practical aspect. And all of these for what? For the sake of the intellectual pleasure? No. In order to improve the human beings' lives, in order to change the human society or human civilization in something better. That's why we will try to give a better idea based on this knowledge of infinity, right? Of what it is, how we can translate this term in reality, how we can find it, how we can formulate that, how we can theorize that, how we can use that, how we can apply that. This is the main and the core occupation or concern of the Infinitology. So if we want to see this interaction or this cross field of these three different things, philosophy, science, and technology, you see that at a given moment, they are able to give us more and more knowledge, more and more information about the infinity. And we call this field Infinitology, where the interconnection between philosophy, science, and technology is able to produce more and more knowledge, science, and the practical idea about the infinity. So now, if we want to know how each of these three fields will help us in infinitology, let's start with see what the philosophy can do for. So as you can see, it's a question of the role of philosophy in the infinitology, which is to provide the general, the widest framework possible about the infinity. We are talking about the theoretical aspect, the conceptual one, the notion of infinity, right? And this is the work of the philosophy, to produce, to provide this most general framework that we need for knowing better, and then for using the infinity. That's the task of the philosophy in the framework of the infinitology. The second is science. As you can see, it's a question of transforming this general philosophical framework that we produced in our philosophical work or philosophical approach into the specific knowledge, the specific theories, the specific rules or laws that we can effectively apply. So here in the work or the task that is conceived for science, we see that the science should take care of this transformation of the general into the specific, the general knowledge to the specific one. And then we can effectively think about how in this specific, special, or defined given field or sector, we can effectively use this knowledge. We can effectively use this practical theory coming from the general theory produced by philosophy. And then we arrive to the role of the technology. And as you can see here, it's a question of getting the scientific knowledge of infinity and transforming it into the techniques, the practical methods, the operational ways, or what we can say, techniques and tools. That's the role of technology for that. So now back to this scheme, you can see that how there would be an interrelation, which means the mutual relationship, mutual functional relationships between these three fields in order to produce the most useful knowledge that we need for having a practical approach to the infinity, right? And that's the infinitology. That's where we can start to develop more and more idea or using more and more of the scientific data and trying to converting it to the applications. That's the interconnection between infinitology as a huge machine, huge system of producing the knowledge, the science, and the tools for approaching, for dealing with infinity. And then we have the infinitism, which is the concrete application of this knowledge into the society and the life of the human beings. There would be an interconnection between Infinitology and Infinitism. Now, back to our field of knowledge called Infinitology. You can see that there would be several mutual relationship between these elements. For example, if we can advance in our philosophical work, philosophical theory on the infinity, we will get a better information on infinity, and then we know how to deal with that, how to deal in a more practical approach to the infinity, if we can effectively work on the philosophical aspect of infinity. Same thing if we go through the advancement that we can have in science. Here again, we can try to have the more specific knowledge on the application of the philosophical theory in a precise field, the precise section of science, and then the result will be the same. Better understanding and better tools in our deal with infinity. So you can imagine that would be the same for the technology, right? For the science and for the technology, that would be the same. Now, what is interesting is that there would be also the interrelationship between the advancement in philosophy with the advancement in science. And as you can see, the more we have the stronger philosophical theory we have about the infinity, the more scientific knowledge we will be able to produce. The relation, as you can see, is the causal direct relationship, is the correlation, direct correlation between the advancement in philosophy and advancement in science. Same thing between the science and technology, right? The more we can know specifically the presence and the process of infinity in the matter, the more we will be able to produce the tools and means, right? And the more we produce the technical means, the technical tools, the more we can take scientific knowledge of infinity. Now, if we put all of these in relationship, you can see that there would be a direct correlation between all of them. Advancement in science, philosophy, and technology go hand to hand in order to help us to deal better with this notion of infinity. And here you can see that all of them have a logical relationship, logical causal direct relationship between philosophy, science, technology, and a better dealing with infinity. So the idea of the infinitology is as simple as that. How we can find a systematic way, a systematic and methodical framework to put in connection philosophy, science, and technology in order to produce more and more information about the infinity. That's as easy as that. Once we have this better understanding of infinitology, of infinity, we can go now toward the infinitism in order to find the applications, the concrete application of this better and deeper understanding of infinity in our life, in society, in everything that we are dealing with. So that's why in this book of Infinitism, I try to present an example of this idea of the presence of the infinity in the matter, how we can know better that, how we can know deeper the different aspects of the presence of infinity in the matter, and then how we can go through the usage of this. So theoretical aspect with the infinitology and the practical aspect with the infinitism. This is what I am suggesting in this work, and I will try to present more and more the writings and also the video productions in order to go through the details. And I hope that you can participate in this discussion in order to exchange our ideas and try to improve the conditions of the human being's life by using this endless possibility that resides in the infinity. Thank you very much for watching this, and we will be in touch. Thank you.